Welcome back to the Kitchen Chefs. Today we are excited about this episode. We are joined with two very good friends and associates. We have Luke and Emily Yamada. We've brought them on, and not only are they really talented at what they do, but they are very professional in how they approach their business. They are full-time, seemingly, world travelers. They're a family of 4. They have 10 rental units and counting. And so in this episode, we're going to be talking with them about everything about their business, how they are making their money work for them, and what are their long-term goals and how they're achieving them. But without further ado, let's cook.
Living in a daydream. Ooh, such a sweet thing. Life on the big screen. It's such a beautiful scene, yeah.
Do you have a goal of how many weddings you want to do this year?
Every year we're kind of like dropping 10. Like we used to shoot 90 and then 80 and
90
then
weddings?
70, like kind of each. So
That's crazy.
90 weddings.
I'm feeling like I could do one a week, like it would average out in the
Yeah.
summer. Just one a week. That sounds
Nice.
lax to me for what we've been coming from.
It's like
I'm
one
"That's
weekend.
chill."
Yeah.
Yeah, just one weekend. And it's an energizing job as a mom. It's like, oh, you get dressed up and it's social and
Yeah.
creative. And I get to be with Luke. So it's fun.
but it was a little overwhelming when she got pregnant and she's sick the first trimester, and last fall and summer she shot 30.
In my first trimester.
And like you're
That
not
was
showing and
brutal.
you're not like telling everybody you're pregnant, but you're feeling really sick. And so
Yeah.
you're just like secretly
On your feet all
dying.
day, too.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. And what's funny is we timed that. We thought that was good timing.
You thought 30 weddings in the first trimester. It's like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, now we know.
Well, we kind of knew our schedule for 2025, and it's like, baby's got to come kind of March, April. Otherwise, it just doesn't make any sense.
But then you didn't think about the
But I
busiest
didn't
season
think
of
about
your
the
career.
busy exactly. And it's funny, always every year we're learning every year. But
Yeah.
going into it, we look at our calendar and we're like, that looks really underwhelming. We can totally
Yeah.
do that. This is gonna be a chill year. And then it's
And
always
it feels in.
it fills in
Because they
somehow.
were saying how weird it would be to get pregnant in like January or February. I don't know why
Yeah.
it's so weird for us to say like, oh, you're getting pregnant and having a baby in the same year. I feel like it needs to be like a next
laugh.
year.
Yeah, yeah.
next
Oh
year.
yeah,
you get-
that's
I
true.
don't
You
know
would
why.
have it like
Like we were thinking about people getting pregnant in like January and February. I'm like, that's like weird. I don't like that.
It's like
'cause
A
it's
lot
like-
happened
pregnant.
that year.
Yeah.
I just feel like
What
that's
if
like
you
too
get
much for a
pregnant?
year. I feel like you gotta kind of think about, okay, we'll get pregnant, then next year we have the baby. It's like 2 different events that
Yeah.
have to happen, you know?
2 separate years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
We
I
just-
mean, but next time if there's a next time I would probably plan it that way.
Okay.
All in the same year.
I was afraid of being super pregnant at the end of busy season, but I can also just take time off. Isn't that crazy?
pregnant
I
in January,
could just
Baby
You
in
could
August.
just
not shoot
relax,
too.
yeah.
That's true.
You guys own the business. You can do
Well, I
whatever
think
you
Yeah,
it's
want.
like
I'm
one of
my
the
own
cons
boss.
of like having. I think there's a lot of pros, but one of the big cons I felt with a business being your name is you had to be
I
there.
had to be there. Yes, exactly.
Where it's like runaway vows.
Yeah, we
if
can
if
hire
one of
people.
us something comes up, it's a lot easier conversation to say, hey, our trusted team member so and so is going to be there.
Yes,
No
And
one's like
we've
expecting
kind of
Jake and
moved.
Nate.
exactly.
Yeah.
We're pushing our business that way. I don't know if we'll be able to anytime soon really like take
Yeah.
the name away, but from the initial contact of inquiry, we're putting it up there that we do have a team in
Trusted,
place,
gotcha.
and that
Mm-hmm.
especially around the time that we're expecting the baby, that Emily leads the client communication
Mm-hmm.
and scheduling and editing, but then me and some shooters that
The
we
day of.
have take care of the actual day of.
We're hoping that we've set that up this past year that we can kind of like, I can take more
Yeah.
of a backseat
Kind
this
of
next year. But
Sounds like it.
Phase out
Yeah.
of actually like being involved
phase
on the
out,
day of.
Yeah.
But you're still involved in like the editing, obviously.
yeah, I'll still do all of it. I've tried hiring it out, and it takes me more time still
Mm-hmm.
to hire
Yeah,
it out
that's
than to
it
just
does.
do it myself. And I
It
like
does.
the control of.
But she does all
Yeah.
of the booking, the managing emails and scheduling
Okay.
and
Luke is my employee. No, I'm
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Respect your boss.
she leads. We both shoot and edit a lot, but
Yeah.
she leads all of. I used to do that. She took that responsibility off, so I can focus more on our other ventures, our real estate, investing in all of those things.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. Do you still do video?
Yeah.
So what, is that a common package you sell or?
So yeah, our most like typical package is Luke is shooting photo. I do all of our videos.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
does all our photos. We started out,
Is it always a 2-for-1 that you just come together, or do they get to choose?
we get a lot of independent gigs too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Probably
like in our
Curious.
pricing guide, we have like our 3 wedding photography packages, and then our 3 wedding videography packages, and then our together packages. And probably 60-70% of people do choose to go both because there's a
all in
lot
one.
of perks to only having to shop one time.
Just
Emailing
one
back and
payment,
forth,
yep.
scheduling
They're
is
very
just kind of
cohesive,
And they know you
editing.
work together well.
Yeah.
Because husband, wife, photo duo team.
Got it down.
Yeah, you got it
But
down.
we're
Science.
both trained in both, so there are some occasions where we have a week, like a Friday, that's she's hired for videography and so am I, or she's
Yeah.
hired for photography and so am I, and we're in separate places
Wow.
Yeah.
because we've both just have so much experience doing both. And on a normal day, one of the benefits that I don't know if we emphasize enough to our clients, but definitely to other vendors of what I say, why a photo video duo can be so nice is that she's my second shooter as a photographer while she's leading video, and I'm
so
getting
nice.
video shots while I'm taking pictures because like I'm seeing the day through a stills version, but I'm like, this would be a great
Yeah.
video shot, whether it's vertical or horizontal, and the way she edits can kind of blend both.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, something that's nice is you know that group photo window that we don't need as videographers.
Yeah.
Well, he's there and like the details it's empty, it's all set up like the dinner, and I just get all of his detail photos while I'm getting my detailed video shots. I'm just like, I'll just get these just in case he doesn't get a chance. And
Yeah.
like, I don't know, we get lots of
And I'll still get like a few video clips of the whole group
Yeah.
kissing
Right,
everybody.
right,
Like
right.
if I know that she's not there, like we just kind of know where each other are. Like
Yeah.
I know this would help the video, or she knows I know this will help the
that's so
gallery, and
nice.
so
You guys have
Yeah.
a system.
That's so
yeah,
nice.
it's nice. Or
That's
like
incredible.
people love that blur, that photo blur.
Yeah.
The shake.
Yeah, but
Very
like
trendy
Luke's
right now.
getting those really solid,
Yeah.
crisp
Mhm.
pictures, and sometimes like, oh, I have a second, I'll just switch my settings,
Just-
settings,
Yeah,
get a
so you're
little.
not like shooting the same thing twice. You're shooting.
well, it's like
Yeah.
you guys kind of say, like nail your hero shots, and like
Yeah.
as you're the lead photographer, videographer, like you're nailing those
Yeah.
must-have shots. But if she's directing a video of them walking or something, I can throw on my Zoom and get some really cool
more
Yeah.
artsy.
artsy video shots, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So
One of my very first weddings, I think it was like 2017, like my very first ever out-of-state weddings was in California. It was a gorgeous couple, gorgeous venue. I just learned that lesson the hard way. I shot like all the details of like these really artsy things,
Yeah,
but I never shot like a hero shot, just like the space, like a wide of
Yeah.
like,
the expected.
and it had this gorgeous like mansion behind it, all the tables in front of it. I never shot that shot, but I got all the tights.
mhm.
And the bride, after I delivered the film, asked for that shot.
You're like, oh, I don't have it.
And I just like learned, I was like, I was so focused on trying to be creative and get artsy angles.
Yeah.
I never really just got like established the scene, got the hero.
Your guys is like I don't know if it's your original the hero shot thing, but that comes to my mind. Any wedding that's stressing me out, that I feel like a little more overwhelmed by the amount of details, or I'm just like, I'm gonna get the expected shots. I'm gonna
Yeah.
nail
Yeah.
those, and then with any extra time, if I have it, I'm gonna get something.
Get
Take
creative with
pressure
the
off
other stuff.
yourself.
Oh
though.
yeah, it's amazing because clients are ultimately expecting just the hero shots compiled pretty, you know. But for myself, I want it.
Yeah,
I want it
that's
to
in the
be
back of the mind.
jazzy.
Yeah.
I had
No,
to learn
I
that
like
for
that.
myself just after trial and error. Like we'd shoot ceremonies and we'd try to get these cool angles. I'm like, you know what? Like what can't we live without? Let's just prioritize those. And if there's time, let's add another camera or something,
Yeah.
Kind of like ice cream. It's like if you got both of all the toppings as a client, like, oh, it's tasty, but like,
Yeah.
where's the ice cream? Like where's the base,
Yes. So I've loved
Full of
the-
food analogies in this
they-
podcast.
I
all
love-
sorts of food analogies.
I'll be brainstorming. No, but I've loved that hero shot thing. That's always helped take
So
the
glad.
pressure off. Yeah.
Wow, I'm so glad.
Got all the skills to get the hero shots and all the time.
Yeah. No, and it's also like a nice pressure off yourself when you can sit down and focus and say, here's like the main thing, and you don't feel as like, what's the artist in me wanting
Yeah.
to do? It's like just keep it timeless.
All right, before we dive back in, we need to tell you about something really exciting that's happening this month at Honeybook. They just kicked off their January Jumpstart giveaway, and that means that this is your chance to win a $10,000 prize package to take your business to the next level. This month, each new member that joins Honeybook has the chance to win, which includes $5,000 to invest back into your business however you want, a $4,000 system setup with a Honeybook Pro to streamline your workflows, and a year of Honeybook Premium for free, and that is worth $1,308. 10 winners will be selected in February, but even if you don't win, having a free trial will give you access to tools that make managing your business so much easier. Think about contracts, proposals, invoices, and much more. We've been avid users of HoneyBook for nearly 10 years now, and it's one of the most important softwares that we use to run our business efficiently. So start your year with the chance to win. The January Jumpstart giveaway runs through January 31st, 2025, so you don't want to wait on this. This could be the perfect way to hit the ground running in 2025. So to start your free trial, follow the link that's going to be in the description of this episode, or check the link in our Instagram bio at Runaway Vows Education. Thank you, HoneyBook, for sponsoring the kitchen this month of January. And now we're going to head back to the episode. What are you guys charging for your photo video duo package? Because you said like 70% of the time that's the one that's booked. So what does that look like?
We're each making, I think, average in Utah about $3K a day by doing a wedding together. So that's awesome for us to walk away from a wedding and make 6K.
So it's a 6K
That's
package.
very typical. And then it's
That's
really
about
easy.
what most. If we're not traveling, we're sleeping in our same bed, we're waking up.
Right.
Yeah, we're
at
spending
home.
we're spending 8 hours or 6 hours of that day working. That's like our most booked package. That feels so good for us.
That's
amazing.
incredible.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like lots of people can charge that on their own, but that's where we're
Well,
at.
that's kind of where I feel like we are able to get and book a lot more inquiries, because that's like, if it was just a photography gig or just a video gig and we were a husband-wife team just doing just video, there's less people that have $6,000 in the budget for just one or the other.
Right.
But as far as our time goes, it feels like one gig and we're just shooting together, but we're creating double the value for the couple.
We really, that's kind of our sweet spot. When we get booked independently, it costs a little bit more just because
Right.
we always say there's a discount if everyone gets together because
Yeah,
it's
it's
way
time
more
away
fun.
from your family.
Right.
and-
Yeah.
I do the same thing. And I think that's
That's
true
smart.
too. Like when I saw a graph somewhere, I think the Wed posted it, but it was like the higher you charge, the slimmer like your clientele gets, because there's less and less people in each bracket. So yeah, you might make more per wedding, but you also have to find those people. It's a little bit harder
Yeah.
versus mass serving and making exactly what you want to make and being happy with that.
Yeah.
Which I think there's a lot of pros and
I
cons to
think
both.
there's some there's some pros to mass
I don't know what you
serving
want to call it.
Just,
Mass
just,
serving.
just quantity. Yeah.
I think
quantity, I guess.
quantity, also the type of people it attracts. As we love our clientele.
Yeah.
My higher budget weddings, sometimes they're overwhelming. I'm like, they're paying me
Oh,
like
100%.
I mean, this is higher budget for me, but like 6K is like a big
Yeah.
day for me, and it feels like there's more on my shoulders, even though it's the same amount of hours and
Right.
the
If it's
same
just you
Right.
for video.
caliber of wedding.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel way more pressure with the higher price. And
But with your
Yeah.
price points, you feel more personable towards your couples and more.
yeah, like
attached
I
to
need to
them.
spend more time. Yeah, or we're with my phase of life, having a toddler, being pregnant. I feel like I'm just in this perfect spot. I can leave my house as a mom, 5 or 6 hours, sometimes 8, make $3,000, and I can do that back to back to back some weekends. And
There's
then
not a bunch of pressure on your mind.
yeah, I just feel good. And it's
Well,
fun.
I think it's funny because this was probably last year when this happened. In these, education groups, including our own, like we've fallen prey to this as well. But there's all this talk like you need to be charging $15K for a wedding,
Yeah.
$20K.
I've jumped in some of
Here's
those
how you
comment
get
sections.
to no, and that's what it is. You jumped into a comment section and you were like, yeah, no, we charge like $6,000 for a photo video package, but we do like 80 weddings a year, and like 50 of those might be the photo video package. And so a lot of these people that are charging 15 to 20K, they might be like bragging that they only take on 12 weddings a year, 15 weddings a year,
It's an awesome place
which is
to be.
great,
Yeah.
which is great. But if you add it up, that's like $100,000 to $200,000 a year. And your guys' approach is like, yeah, we can take 80 a year at $6,000, and it's a lot of money.
Yeah,
And
the math is good.
I know, and the math,
I
and
would
the
also
math
argue
maths.
that
The
the people
math's the
charging
maths.
more, their cost of business is maybe more.
Oh yeah,
And so profit margins wise, they're probably doing
Probably a
just
lot
as
less.
good as you guys are or less.
yeah.
Well, that's true because
is my argument.
like lots of times with that like elite. I mean, I think that's really elite.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
It is. Yeah, it's
you
cool.
usually you need to bring some people along.
Yeah.
You know, and you need more
Your
angles,
costs go
and
up,
you need
yeah.
that's
Pay a lot of
And
people.
like,
where I can do that on my own.
And
I
you
can
probably have to leave the state, to be
confidently know.
honest.
and if
Yeah.
you're getting a lot of inquiries, you're spending a lot of time investing into these potentials that aren't booking, just because if you're only taking on 10, 15, 20, but you're getting hundreds of inquiries, are you just not responding to them? Or,
Yeah.
because most of the inquiries that we get to hop on a call with them, and probably, I think it's like HoneyBook says half end up
Wow.
booking something
That's
with us.
amazing.
Jeez.
I have probably less now that we're trying to take on less and less, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Less
that's
is
not
like 40.
dead time.
Yeah.
Not that it's
Yeah, just
wasted
like
time. It's kind of
50
just time
way.
that you have to put in, just like
Ideally.
your website and posting on Instagram and whatever. That's all time baked into that price of what
Yeah.
you're making.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah. Well, I think the most important thing that Nate and I found this year, we're really excited about 2025. We talk about how it's our first year in like 7 years. And first year together, 3 years where every single wedding we're like stoked about.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Because if you're one of our past brides, we've loved every single one
It's
of you.
been great.
But I'm just saying, like,
Not the same.
we've made deals, we've taken discounts, we've said like, oh, we'd love some income that month, or we've kind of just like sacrificed certain things. And I think all to say that this year, every single wedding coming in is from like a planner we love or a bride that we're just like so excited about, and everything is like, that's our client, that's our vision for like how our brand is.
That
And
feels
for
so
us,
good.
that's where the fulfillment comes in. And I just, some of the conversations we try to have with these creators on our podcast, just like what brings you fulfillment. Because I think everyone has like a different answer. And you guys have kind of outlined your different answers about like what your kind of non-negotiables are in life. Like ideally you go to bed in your bed at night, and you work together and you have time with your family and your profit margins are good enough and you can stay busy and work a wedding weekend. And I think some people might hear that and be like, not for me. And some people might hear that and be like, that's exactly what I want, So I think the most important thing is just like, what do you find fulfillment?
yeah. I think it's just getting totally clear on your like not higher goal or purpose, but what you're really trying to get out of your business. Like if you want, like if you're in a higher price point, most of the time you're gonna be, people are stretching for you because I love your stuff. You're gonna deliver something that other people aren't. And I think a lot of our couples do that for us. And also, I'm sure we serve part of the market that's like, I just want a great job, someone that's professional, reliable, has experience to document my wedding day. I have a few good options, but really like you guys. And,
Yeah.
and so, like, our goal is to be able to serve those people, but also it just a lot of times just makes good financial sense for us. We're still fairly young and have good energy, and we live by our families, and we're able to have our son be babysat by families. So while like that system is all in place, we just want to like put the bucket out while the water's running, and just start putting that water to plant other things. So,
Yeah.
Great analogy.
like it.
yeah, I'm like, getting
It
all
wasn't
farmy,
food, but
I'm thinking of, our real estate business or other things that kind of all go in tandem a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah, we've got a lot of passions outside of, honestly, our job is one of our big passions. Like it is so much fun for us, and we really pride ourselves on being able to work together. We've had every job together since we've been married, and then to be able to have like our own business that we've seen grow, and
Like
I guess like there's things that this passion, like our videography, photography business passion, fuels our other like big hopes of really we just ultimately don't want to work at all. But no, just,
Yeah.
We stop wanting, you don't want to
100%.
trade your time for money.
yeah, and this is maybe not everybody's mindset, but money now is worth more than money later, because if we invest it now, it like works for us now. And so right now we're in this like saving phase and building phase.
Yeah.
Luke
Which-
does all that though.
Which I think, I mean, you talked about that earlier in this podcast. You kind of hinted at it. So Emily, you've been taking on a lot of like the inquiries and booking, like everything leading up to that. And that's kind of freed up time. I guess it sounds like for you to focus a little on like investing and real estate. I imagine you're both really involved in that. But there's this mindset, I think, that as a creative, being a creative and running a business sometimes clash. That's where the term, starving artist comes from. Like if you're a creative, like money is hard to get, people don't understand you. But you guys kind of take this approach where you're both creative professionals, but you have this long-term plan and you treat your business like a business. And it's kind of like, it seems like it's a means to an end. So kind of walk us through what you guys are doing. Like what you've mentioned real estate, you've mentioned investing. So like what's the current setup for Emily and Luke? What are you guys doing?
Well, all the things we do are to like steps to the overall life we want to live. And we have a really clear picture of like our perfect day and what we want to be doing in 10 years and what that looks like where we are, what
What's the
freedom do we
temperature?
have?
No.
Like, where's the water? How close is it to me? But like right now we have most of our energy goes into our wedding videography and photography business, booking, editing. There is a slower season now, which a lot of people are doing website stuff and posting and booking, but every year we've been able to buy a property, fix it up. I used to work construction, and so we're just scaling that. And there's a lot of good potential tax benefits.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too in depth of what it's more of a specific situation.
Yeah.
But I'm fine to share that too, actually, because it's really
you
helped
dealing drugs?
offset.
Yeah, right. Is
Sounds
this like Ozark? What's going on here?
No, I mean,
Very
like,
He
specific.
launders money for the cartel.
if anyone's out there that is like a wedding professional and is married to like a real estate agent or something, you can kind of have all your real estate losses offset your active income as a family.
Wow.
And, real estate has a lot of, this is not financial advice. I talked to
You
a
always gotta
CPA, but, depreciation, even
Yeah.
though they appreciate, and there's ways to rapid depreciate, like half the value of a home.
Interesting.
So like we've been able
Great
to save
write-offs.
tens of
Wow.
thousands of dollars in taxes where, if we're making, $300,000, $500,000 in weddings, the tax bill on that is
Yeah.
massive,
Crazy.
but we're able to drop it super, super low through
Depreciation.
Real
appreciation, real estate,
depreciation?
because like I am qualified as a real estate professional. If you work more in that business or 750 hours, you can take all of those supposed losses against our family income, which like she leads that business.
Interesting.
That's fascinating.
So now we
lost me,
have
but I'm
Yeah.
interested.
we have 10 rental units, and
Wow.
that kind of has freed up our whole life. Like we live in a nice house on the mountain, and it's totally none of our wedding business pays for that.
Wow.
And it's given us a lot of options to say yes to things, say no to things. And ideally, like we love working in the wedding industry, but kind of want to get to more where you guys are at, that like every single wedding we are totally stoked on, and we're not saying yes because we want to pay the bills. It's I want to be part of that. That sounds like a
Yeah.
really awesome day,
Right.
an awesome
Yeah.
thing, like an event that I want to
Yeah.
be part of.
Yeah, not just the money is the exciting part, but I did feel last year, even though there was a lot of gigs, I felt excited about all of them just because I was at a point in booking that I felt like I was saying no to a lot. And I was
Yeah.
taking on
Yeah.
clients that did align with my style and like had big budgets, and their weddings were
Yeah.
gorgeous, like gorgeous productions. So it felt like a huge leap year for our business last year.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to move forward, and like really, you'll probably have more of a personal relationship with your clients, and like
In a
really
way.
capture their hopes. And
Yeah, you feel more invested. I actually want to hear, because I think a lot of our audience would identify with saying like they don't have the luxury of saying no. They're doing their best to attract their dream client through their branding, their website, their funnel, their Instagram, trying to really put out a vibe that attracts a certain client. But I think a lot of our community still falls under the umbrella of not having the luxury to say no because they need the income. Especially, I feel like everyone had a hard year last year. Maybe not you guys, but I think most of our community just kind of feeling the effects of inflation or something, or bad marketing, whatever you want to call it. So what do you guys feel like is one of the key ways that you are now able, maybe real estate aside, but kind of with your business, how can you afford to say no, or what are some key reasons that lead you to say no?
I mean, this past season was year 5, so I think just now we've spent some time,
Yeah.
and I really do believe like if I say no to somebody, well, I make them say no. Honestly, that's helped me
Okay.
a lot.
Tell me about that.
Convince
Keeping
them.
to my price, that's
Yeah,
really
okay.
helped.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Which I think I feel confident in my price now, that I know where other people fall and I know where I fall is like kind of perfect for my experience.
Yeah.
I know I'm not a ripoff to like, I mean, there's not that anybody, I don't want to be canceled, but
No, just
Like,
trying to
I
say,
know
yeah.
I'm very
confident in
fairly
your offering and
priced.
your price.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
And you find
Yeah.
people who are the couples who are trying to kind of get you lower. You're like, that's not my.
Yeah, I'm like, I know the amount of
I
time.
know what I'm worth.
I know that I won't be with my son that day. Like having another person in the mix has helped us say
One
no
thing
more
I think that
too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's unique to us because most of the time we're working together, but a common thing that we get told is just like how much of a pleasure it is to work with us. Like we're
You guys are
happy,
great
we
people.
like
Yeah.
it. And
Very positive.
like we've
yeah,
had,
great
I don't know
people.
if this is normal, but we've had like a few standing ovations. Like the photographer leaving, and like everybody stands up and claps.
No
and,
way.
I've
like
never heard
not
of that.
more, like a few times.
Wow, we suck. I've never.
No, yeah,
New
never,
life
we've
goal.
never had
a
that.
standing ovation as we
Never.
leave.
I mean, but like
That's
the
hilarious.
principle of it is
Such nice
just
people.
like connecting. I think a lot of people focus on the wedding planner, which is a great, like where you can add value. And we said earlier, like they're kind of onto you though a little bit. Like it's
Yeah.
a
Oh,
mutual
absolutely.
relationship.
Yeah.
But
I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
like we've gotten so many referrals. Like we don't post a lot on Instagram and social media anymore. We definitely should. We just have so much content that kind of gets overwhelming. But we have a steady flow of inquiries and bookings just from the pool of people. Now that we've worked with so many people, we've connected with a lot of people, and at the weddings, she's talking to the bridesmaids and the moms, and not in like an overly annoying way that's like, hey, get back to work, but
Just being social. Just
Trying to
A
make
pleasure to
connections.
work
personable.
with.
Yeah.
yeah. And like I've seen that with people love you guys when I've worked with Sam or Dallin or a bunch of other people. People talk about how awesome they are. And if you aren't hearing that, I'm sure there's something you can do to be more personable, more
Absolutely.
kind, even if it's not, doesn't come that naturally. That is something you can learn to connect with people.
Yeah.
So
We've talked about that. It's like, because a lot of times there's a lot of emphasis on like you need to learn your camera settings, you need to learn all the technical things, and some people are really good at that, but they don't have the soft skills. And this is kind of a business where you need soft skills. Most businesses are, whether it is wedding video and photo or real estate or whatever. Like you need some social skills, and so if you don't have those, you got to work on those.
Yeah.
especially when you've been doing
Pay
it
for workshops on that.
Yeah,
No, just-
yeah, social skills.
Well, that's
Those
why
are
I think
social
it's so nice
skills.
about the behind the lens thing, because so many people like get all the technical things, and I like
Yeah.
my videos
Yeah.
look like this, but on the day, what are you guys actually
Watch me
doing? What are you
talk,
kind of
that's
saying?
true.
How are you
Yeah.
interacting with people?
There was
Can we do one with you guys?
wait
Would you
a
seriously?
wedding with us?
Can we do it through the lens with you?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
he's so down.
but I mean, it's kind of like the bedside manner thing we were talking about. Because
Luke and I had an experience. I was pregnant with our first Micah.
Okay.
This is just a story that like really inspired
Okay.
us to. Okay.
it really drove this point home.
Yeah.
There was a doctor. We'd worked with a few different doctors within this same network of doctors, and his energy, it made me feel like this was the most special thing on earth, what I was doing. And I don't feel like I'm a high maintenance person. I don't need that kind of attention, but he was so warm and made us feel like we were the first people ever having a baby, and he was so happy to be a part of it and all this stuff. Like, I don't know how to explain, his energy was so
Yeah.
warm. And it really left us thinking, like, we're part of other people's biggest day, their weddings.
Yeah, like this is our work, but this is they planned it their
Once
whole
in a
life, and just
lifetime
like
moment.
Yeah.
just like us, like the other guys we were totally fine with, but didn't think about him the other day. After we went home, the other doctors were like, "Oh, how you doing? How's this? Okay, you're good to go." But the other guy like sat,
He was
connected, was
invested.
so excited for us, and he knew, even though this was normal for him, that this was huge for us, and understanding that for the couples. Because I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes I've seen some vendors get a little casual with
Definitely.
couples. I'm like, these guys are pumped, and they're
We're so quick to forget. Like it's so.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really wild that we get to be there on. I mean, often we're meeting a bride in her dressing room on her wedding day. Like that's
Trying
the
on her
first, like,
dress. Yep.
hey,
Yeah.
yeah, and just the bedside manner. We always like remind each other, like the bedside manner that doctor had. Like we want to have when we walk into a bride's dressing room, like when she get her makeup done. Just be that energy for her, because that made a big impact on us. So
That's a good point. We you guys know Adam Grumbo. He came to
Yeah.
you know him. Years ago, when I first started knowing him, he was on a live Q&A with Parker Walbeck, and he is asking like, "What's the key to success in the wedding world?" Because Adam does, I think, 100 weddings a year, something crazy too.
oh wow,
And he said, rule number 1 and the last rule is to be a pleasure to work with. And that's all he said. He said, that's really the only advice I have. Like you could argue all day about like technical and like how many cameras and what shooting 4K and how do you tell us like edit and like he said, it doesn't matter. He's like, anyone can do that. He's like, but the most important thing is be a pleasure to work with, and that will make people refer you to other people. Because we always talk about like if you're a planner, who would you refer? Someone maybe more experienced and better, or someone you trust and love to work with. Always someone you trust,
Always.
like always, even if they're a little more expensive or maybe they're cheaper. You'd always gravitate towards someone you trust. You know, they're going to treat my clients with respect and love my brides. I don't know about this person.
And yeah, you guys
I
are a
love that.
testament to that. You
Yeah.
guys just said you don't post that much on Instagram, but you do have a ton of content, and you've just worked with enough people that you just keep getting more people. And if you weren't a pleasure to work with, that would be the exact opposite. You would work with one person, you would never get referred
Yeah.
again. So that just shows how personable and likable you guys are. You don't even have to
Thanks,
post
man.
on social media, and you're getting all these
Oh, it's
bookings.
just one of those things that's easy to let go because it's not that fun to do.
So tell me about, you said you have your 10-year plan all ironed out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where do you see yourself in 2035? What is this goal that's causing the investments?
the investments.
Kite surfing every day.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, strong and flexible like Nate, eating good food like Jake, and watching movies. Just kidding. I don't know, we want to just, like, my life goal is to just do as much of the things that I love with the people that I love as much as possible, and
Yeah.
like whatever that looks like. And right now I have certain hobbies like kiteboarding and golfing, and we love traveling and things. And I know a lot of that requires
Some
a
freedom.
good amount of money and freedom.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're totally willing to almost front load time now, like kind of squeeze it in just so we can stretch it out later, like slow time down a little bit.
Parker always said, work like no one else is working now, so you can live like no one else is living later. I don't know if it's his quote.
Kind
but-
of how we
That's
feel.
what we
Yeah.
kind of tell
Yeah, yeah.
ourselves when we're like shooting a wedding here, driving through the night to get to Oregon to shoot all day, to drive all the way back to shoot here again. But
Yeah. Jeez.
Won't do that again.
Won't do that
we're
again, but-
glad
Did it
we
once,
did.
never gonna do it again.
Yeah, it's a funny balance though, like also recognizing that like our children are only this small right now. This job is really perfect for time with family because we can make a lot, but just be gone like the weekend,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then we're home
All
and then
week.
just and edit. But we can strategically edit so we can still be with him all the time, and
Yeah.
it's really an ideal situation we have going on. It's nice.
yeah, I mean, ideally in 10 years, we're still plugged into this scene. Like there's something that gives me energy. There's certain weddings or just weddings in general, but just not in that quantity, that just give me a lot of energy. And it's good for our relationship.
Yeah,
And
it's fun.
but yeah, just way less and being home way more. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it's funny because like you guys have positioned yourself in such a way. Going back to the people that say like you only should be booking like 15K, 20K weddings. You guys do those types of weddings too. Like we shot a people wedding with you guys. We worked at Fontainebleau with you guys. So just because you are taking on massive quantity doesn't mean you're not being like hired for these massive events too. And so maybe in the future, that's just kind of like more maybe what you want to do after you've built up what you're building right now. Maybe in 10 years, you are just only doing those huge things 10, 15,
Yeah.
20 times a year.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're thinking because we are getting more of those types of gigs every year, but it's still like those bigger ones, but it's still so hard to say no to a $12,000 weekend with
Yeah.
just 2 days. It's like,
Yeah.
that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too good for,
good money.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's even times where it's a Tuesday and their budget's $2,000 and looks like I can do a good job for them and I can make good
10
money
minutes
for
down
us.
the road, it's only 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
I got that.
So there's lots of just
Right?
like
Seriously.
weighing, like what else would I be doing
Why
on a
don't we have that
Tuesday?
conversation more often? I feel like people are so like, I don't know if it's like an ego thing.
It is an ego thing.
Well, that's why
I
I-
get the principle.
What's worth it to you? And does
Yeah,
it like
I
benefit
know.
your life that much? And does it detract from your life as much as the price that you're getting
Because
paid?
you editing everything yourself.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
He still does.
So, like, what are your costs? Like, if you're
We
paid $3,000,
kept it pretty
Do you have?
minimal.
Are there any other expenses? that-
Software, gas, I don't know.
so, like, yeah, so minimal,
Yeah,
right?
just really minimal overhead.
Absolutely, for 3.5 hours, I'd make 2K. You
Isn't
kidding me?
that? I think it makes a lot of sense.
It's an ego thing.
Yeah, and those people are really grateful too when he takes it on,
They
and there's
usually are
something
the
about
most
that
grateful.
too.
Well, and that's the
Yeah.
thing is like you can take on you can not that you need to adjust your price for everybody, but like if it's a Tuesday and you're not going to be booked and someone says, "Hey, you're a little out of my budget. This is my budget. What can you do?" Like I can do something, and I'm going to
Yeah.
let them know like this is what I can do with that, and if you can, awesome. If not, I can refer you to somebody else. But more times than not, so grateful.
Yeah.
Pay that price, and it's great.
Because they know you're worth more. And
Yeah.
I think the people who know you're worth more are that much more appreciative when you do it for them versus the people who I think are actively searching for a deal.
Yes, and
Yeah.
whenever you give a deal to those certain people,
Yeah.
you regret it because
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. There's a
Have you
science.
guys seen The Prestige?
Yeah.
Yes.
Prestige. That's like my favorite movie of all time.
good.
Christopher Nolan's, I think, I would say
Best
second
work.
best.
Yeah.
I think Interstellar has to be.
Interstellar.
We
but-
just watched that.
Oh, it's so good. I'm
It's so
probably
good.
gonna watch it again
I mean,
tonight.
we've watched it a lot.
In theaters?
Just again.
Did you see it in theaters?
when it came
Oh.
out this last
Interstellar?
month?
Interstellar.
re-released
Well,
it
we
for
have a
2 weeks.
home theater,
Oh, there you
Oh.
go.
and Luke
gotta
put
have
in
you guys come over,
surround
movie night.
sound.
We have.
You guys should
We
come
gotta do a
check it
PJs.
out.
Never invited me over.
We just finished it. It's
I
a little.
live-
It
I
might be a
live 10
little
minutes away.
ghetto
It's
for
fine.
Jake.
No, it's fine.
There's like a cement cutout in the wall right now.
No, it's fine. I'm offended. No, but in the Prestige.
How many times I've seen you four specifically hanging out?
He's not wrong. He isn't wrong. He's not
We
wrong.
don't have a home theater. No, but the Prestige. What were we talking about? The people who you give a discount to,
Yes.
and they're not grateful. That's what led to this rant. In the Prestige, Christian Bale is a magician, and he teaches that kid how to do a magic trick with a coin. And he says, never ever give it up. He said, the second you give it up, you're worthless to them. And I always think about that scene and how like it's magic until they know how you do it. And I think they want you, they love you, and then they're trying to work you to get a lower price. And the second you get to where they are, you kind of lose that larger than life, luxury of like you're gonna have a great team. It's like, oh, I'm actually hiring a team who sounds maybe desperate for money. Is how it felt. And so then they value you less, they appreciate you less, and then if you give them that inch, they want to take it a mile and they want more.
Oh, for sure.
And
They're the one
almost
that
9 times out of 10, I'd say
100.
those people, whoever I give that discount to, come back and say, I want X, Y, and Z. And you're just like, no.
Yeah, because you've already given it.
But most
like
videographers
you didn't
say
feel good
yes.
about it
Well,
to begin
it's
with.
more emotional
Yeah.
for them. They're more emotionally attached than like you're a professional. I
Yeah.
love your service. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So
That's what Nate and I learned about our ideal client is we don't want ever to be a bargain. Like we don't want you to
Yeah.
ever be looking for a videographer solely based on do you fit in our budget. We want you to love our style, our brand, and love our dynamic as a team. And then if you love those things, you don't care what the price is, you'll pay it. But that should come first.
yeah, and we're definitely not advocating for people to just like say yes to everything,
Take everything,
do
yeah.
too cheap, because there are a lot of people, like most of us started shooting for a couple $100. There are people coming into the industry that need those gigs, and there's
Yes.
people who only have those budgets. And if people who have all this experience are saying yes to all of those things, that's killing the market at the bottom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm grateful for the people that were only had $500 and trusted me at the beginning, and that's like helped us get to where
would
we
be
are.
without those people?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think that's what I was talking about. Like last year was kind of our first year. I didn't feel like there was a single gig that I compromised for. They
Wow.
all felt
That's
good.
incredible.
They
We were
all
all
felt good.
really
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah,
about
and I know
them.
we're in
Yeah.
that price point, that more affordable price point, but I felt like everybody hired us because they liked our work. And like if it was a budget thing, it wasn't my business. They didn't mention it. It
Right.
just felt good.
Yeah.
And
You know, it's funny when she said affordable pricing. I don't know because I always think like I have like a relative idea of what's like affordable
Yeah.
luxury, whatever you want to call it. But then you go on TikTok sometimes and you see those posts and someone's like, I spent $2,000 for my photographer and here are the results. And it's like great results. And all the comments are like, I wouldn't have paid 500.
Yeah.
People
yeah,
just have like
it's
a-
all
it's-
relative.
Well,
You're
It's
just
so
like,
relative.
knowing your
market too,
Yeah,
because like
yeah.
we know the Utah market really, really
Yeah.
well, and like maybe the high end of
You're on
here
the high
is
end
the
of
low
Utah,
end
I
is
would say.
somewhere else. But that's
Yeah.
why like if it's traveling,
Probably.
it's a lot more.
Yeah, like we're the affordable option when we travel to people in New York in,
Oh,
in our
Those
LA
packages
weddings.
aren't.
Yeah.
No, we've met beginners in their first year in like New York and like Southern Florida who are like double what I would have ever expected.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wild.
Crazy.
Wild
Yeah.
rates.
And they're so bad. like
Nepotism.
You guys should not be charging
Nepotism.
But their
$5,000.
overhead, just their life price,
It's
is
true.
like
True.
so
Five
$5
they
grand
pay
for a
for-
closet.
Yeah, for a closet.
Pay for
Well, that's why
groceries.
people are eager to fly us out. Like I'll pay you $6 and me $6, and we'll take you to New York
Yeah.
instead.
It's
We have a
cheap
lot
for
of
them.
weddings this year in Utah, inbound destination. People coming from
Mhm.
Chicago
Okay.
or New York
Yes,
coming
lots
to
of East
Utah
Coast.
because I also think to save money,
Yeah,
but also because they love the state. They love
The
it's an
mountain nature, yeah,
experience.
it's outdoorsy.
So many of our like East Coast clients like ski in Utah regularly growing up. They did that, and so then they get married here, or they I don't know. There's
It's
a
our
lot.
dream client, actually.
Yeah,
It's
it's
Seriously,
the
people who
perfect
come to
client.
Utah
Please.
with
Yeah,
big
please.
budgets.
Yeah, that's the best.
Love the
We go
inbound.
home at night.
Yeah,
It's great.
sleep in
Rich
Same bed.
people bring
Sleep
their
in your own
friends
bed.
to the mountains.
They're just like, you guys live here. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I know.
And our
It's like,
second
oh,
our second favorite location has to be like Aspen, Colorado.
Oh,
Easy
gorgeous.
trip, quick.
Gorgeous.
You know.
just like this area, Park City, Aspen, Jackson Hole. Like that's the
I
dream.
know, we gotta do more Jackson Hole.
Jackson Hole would
Do
be
you guys
fun.
do Jackson Hole often?
We've done
No,
one.
We've done one, and then I have one for Aspen up in the air. Maybe this week she'll book, maybe she won't.
Oh,
but I just had
okay.
a call, and I was like, "You're an ideal client for me."
I love
That's
it.
like a 1 hour flight. You're beautiful.
Manifesting
Yeah, I'm
happens.
like,
We've
we
been
can.
in Chicago a lot.
Yeah, Chicago.
You are going to
been awesome.
Chicago?
We have been.
We have been to Chicago a lot.
What opened that door? Did you shoot one there? And
Honestly,
Yeah.
it was a TikTok.
really?
Yeah.
It's like the
My
first one you were
first TikTok
posted.
I ever posted. Everybody talked about how powerful TikTok is, and I did. It was a crummy post. I mean, I just didn't know how to do it, but I tried to
2,000
post one of my
people saw it.
videos, and I like
2,000 people saw
2,000
Yeah,
it.
like-
and you
She was
got
one
a
of them.
like
booking?
not
So you
very
don't
many
even have
people
to go
saw it, but
viral.
I got an email from somebody who saw it, and she said, "Let me know your pricing." I had just had our son like a few days before,
This
but
is
I
what
was
I've
on
been
my
looking
email,
for.
and she's like, "I'm ready to hire you for my wedding," and,
You're
and that
joking.
opened a door for a lot of Chicago weddings.
It
but
wasn't crummy. It was good, but
It was like a gorgeous video, but just like I just didn't know what it was.
Well,
Just a quick
that's
TikTok.
That's just so surprising though, because 2,000 views on TikTok, like not
It's
to
like
downplay
so
it.
minimal.
That's
so
like-
minimal.
That's like
that's
if
like
flop.
5 people
That's
saw
like
it.
Yeah.
50 on Instagram. You're like,
Yeah.
And so we've posted on TikTok, and we've got bookings. We got some
Our
from
first
Jake.
viral video, nothing happened. We had 3 million views.
Wow.
It was
Yeah.
from Adrian Tyler.
Oh,
That video
yeah.
of me.
Give him the first
Oh,
little
Like
yeah.
4
instruction.
million views on TikTok and not a single inquiry.
But then we posted
an
the other
ad,
one
but-
of Dallin and Morgan's teaser trailer,
pretty.
them
Oh, so
reaction one.
gorgeous.
80
Gorgeous.
inquiries from that.
And so that's kind of like
Wow.
our expectation is you have to go mega viral on TikTok to get any return on it. But you guys just said 2,000 views.
I know it was a while. It was like, and it was a great. Like she was one of my favorite people.
Well, that's why
I've
you
ever
just
worked
never
with.
know. Like as long as you're putting stuff out into the universe, like as one of a
all-
success coach we had heard say, like everyone's worried about putting out A+ work all the time.
Yeah.
But how much of your work is like 100%, like the best? And she's said just put out B+ work
Just-
into the
just
world
get
to
it out
see,
there.
because like
Just get it out
what
there.
you think is B+ is what everybody is someone else's dream. And so
A+,
like
yeah,
if
yeah.
you're just keeping that eyes off, like it's just hurting your business. So
Because what's your A+? Like it's probably for other videographers. Right?
Yes,
Like
I
yes.
think we
ego
tend
thing.
to like try to
Yeah.
impress each other more. I
Absolutely.
think that's something that
100%.
with her videos she does a really good job, is just
What does the client want?
making it for them.
Yeah.
That's
And-
something that we kind of butted heads on when we first started. Like, being a husband and wife team, I think we've done really good. But
And I
Luke
was like, do it a little
wanted
cooler, a little more,
Yeah, like
a little more technical, a little
way
crazier.
more techie, and my stuff is very much more just heavy storytelling
Yeah.
for them. Like,
Timeless, yeah.
and that's what I get complimented most on by my brides is
The story.
is the story and the way they feel when they watch it. It's definitely not like showy.
Parker even gave you a good compliment.
Oh yeah, Parker Wahlbeck.
You're kidding.
He was at a wedding and they were playing my first look video
She
in front of
died.
everybody.
She's like, Parker's here.
I felt
Turn it off.
so
Turn it off.
nervous. I was
put
so
that on the
nervous.
thumbnail, like 5 stars, Parker Wahlbeck.
Parker
in the
Wahlbeck.
thumbnail of the video.
He told his table, now that's a wedding videographer, and then somebody
That's
from
when
the
you know
table
you
told
made
me
it.
that, and I was like, oh my gosh,
That's
like,
crazy.
That's
that
when you know
made
you
me
made
feel
it.
so good.
That's a
It
big
made me feel
compliment from
so
Parker.
good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I remember being stressed out when they started showing that to everybody. I was like, oh crap. I was like, please
Parker's
shut it
Parker's
off.
watching it.
I mean, like
It's over.
I had been proud of it up
love
until
that.
that point. Then I just felt like anxious, like it's getting a review.
No, story is always king. Glad you fought Luke on that one.
Yeah, anyway, I was just remember like I don't need all the techie gear. It stresses me out. Like I just need like a good
Well, it's
camera.
like, I think you
and,
could do this here, and you could ramp here, and you could do this. And she's like,
The ramp. The speed
you know,
ramp.
Add a flare here.
At a flare, the
Yeah.
speed ramp.
which are all cool.
All
you know.
great.
Yeah, all great, and people use them really
But
well.
again, the toppings and then the ice cream.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly. And I can add some stuff here and there when I'm pretty
Yeah.
much wrapped up with that. My focus is so much like what they're saying to each other and the music.
No, it's beautiful.
So anyway, I don't know why I brought that up.
Our-
But
How many like Chicago weddings do you think that one wedding has opened the doors to?
And we've gone back
it's
probably
opened
4
up
times,
the
eh?
East Coast for us, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, and like some of the guests were from Long Island, and we've been to Long Island 3 times now, and we went to
Nantucket
Nantucket, and we went to Tennessee, because like they're
Oh,
all
I
just
love
kind
So,
of
been to
so
Nantucket.
some of the
Yeah.
guests
Nantucket was
at the
magical.
Chicago wedding,
yeah, like
were,
friends of the bride.
and
They
then
all
they
attended
hired
this
you.
one wedding,
And then
all
when-
really liked us, and
yeah.
then we got like the whole network of friends, and they
going
were
back
all,
to being a pleasure to work with. It just
yeah, and like that
multiplies.
one wedding got us
Yeah.
some of our best ones at Chicago, Long Island, Nantucket, which was so awesome,
And then Nantucket got us one in Tennessee.
and then that Nantucket one got us like 12 million views on social media because the first look was on. So it's like
Yeah,
That's
it's just been
all because of the TikTok, really. So
the
if you
crummy
go
TikTok.
back.
TikTok has been so interesting for us. We've had Dallin and Morgan went viral. That led to a lot of inquiries. My video with Tyler didn't lead to any. And then I forgot that we have a Tuscany wedding this year, and she booked because,
Like actual Tuscany?
yeah,
actual Tuscany.
rented
yeah.
out,
Tuscan
rented out a
vibes.
villa and everything. And
Wow.
she booked because she saw a TikTok of me. It was from the wedding we did in Park City with Blake.
Hodge?
Kevin,
Hogan?
Kim and Kevin.
Oh, Kim and
Oh.
Kevin. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was just really
don't
it was
even
this
know
job
what's-
shot we did on YouTube. It's like I
Okay.
solo shot this wedding, and there's this little clip of me teaching like about drone, and I say like focus on the hero. If I have time for the drone, I'll get the drone out.
Mhm.
And this bride saw that clip,
She's like, I
and
love
she
that.
just liked it.
I like that
And
She's like,
philosophy.
saved.
yeah, because she had a consultation call with another videographer right before she saw that, who said that they were gonna follow her around with like 3 cameras and drone and everything, and just like be very production.
Mm.
And she liked that I was like taking a different approach, and that was all she needed to
And
hear.
you made that for education for like
Yeah.
videographers.
Not
And
for
that-
her.
But it's all she needed. That's amazing.
Yeah, but she was kind of
Different
and,
audience.
she liked our work too, but that was kind of the very. I just liked how you handled that situation,
That's so
and that's
cool.
the kind of videographer I want at my wedding.
And
yeah.
now you'll shoot like a
Tuscany.
pinch me wedding.
Yeah, oh, they're so
Tuscany
sweet.
wedding.
They're a sweet couple. Yeah, yeah. She's this whole villa rented out. It's like a 3-day event.
my
It's gonna be
gosh.
gorgeous.
You
yeah.
never really know who's watching. That's why how you
Never
dress,
know.
how you talk, how you talk to other people you work with, how you talk about the family. I know a lot of professionals that too, the front facing, so nice, and they just talk total
Yeah.
crap
Yes.
about people.
Yes.
So
Hey, we've all done it.
Hey,
I know,
hey,
I know.
mean, not,
It's
not
we've
speaking
all
from
been fed up.
personal experience.
the doors of the kitchen are supposed to close. Yeah, but
Not speaking from
No,
personal experience.
we do check. We try to check that at the door and
Yeah.
save the convos for the drive home.
Yeah.
Or the
yeah.
podcast.
Or the
Yep.
podcast.
Unload, because there are some stories. But
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some stories that deserve to be shared. As,
Yeah.
as
You
we've
guys are
had
also
submitted.
like, very positive people.
You are.
Like, I think it takes a lot to probably put you out.
I think that's actually true.
And
I
the
think
reason
that
I'll
is
say
true.
that is because we threw you into the Lion's Den in Vegas,
that was
and you
so
smiled
wild.
for the entire
Man.
thing. We threw Luke into.
Did you guys go
Man.
back this year? Did
We
they
didn't
have
go back
another
this year.
thing? Okay.
No, we
No.
worked there for like
That's good.
3 months last year,
Yeah, I
and
felt
then
like
they
you were
hired an
regular.
in-house team. So
Basically
Okay.
lived in
Didn't need
Vegas for
us.
3
Probably
months.
saves them more money.
oh, probably a third. Of
Yeah.
what we were
I
gonna
was
charge
thinking,
them.
I was like, wow, they're
So we
they're
get
really
it, and
they-
a
they found
lot.
their groove this.
Yeah,
this
they
fall.
dialed in
Yeah.
their team.
Oh,
But
that's
Yeah.
definitely the Lion's Den.
Yeah, we threw Luke into hell.
I will
and you smiled
never.
through the whole thing.
I will never
Luke.
forget being in
I thought I did a good
Komodo.
job, but-
He did a great
But
job.
that- Who was that guy? Oh my
He who
gosh.
shall
though.
not be named.
We say not his name.
Just ripping into you,
Not
and
to
you were
summon the
just like,
devils.
"Yeah, no, man."
Honestly.
and talking back, no, that's not how it is.
Luke's more, yeah. You help me not be sassy. I feel like you
Oh, are
say
you the
really.
fire?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I would take a lot less.
Did you take things a lot more personally?
Yes.
A few years ago?
I
Initially, yeah.
initially,
Mhm.
but now I say it's kind of reverse. I take things less personally, probably.
Why is that? Are you used to the bigger picture? Do
Yeah,
you understand
I think
where they're coming
I
from?
just
Like,
do
your
more the
confidence is
business
so much
side
higher.
now, and
Mhm.
I feel like I am the boss of my business, and I just have expectations now.
Mhm.
Where before I kind of
Yeah.
felt lucky.
Well, like this
to
was a
be in a
text
lot
that
of
she sent
places.
just a few days ago when we booked this client. She's like, "We really want you. It's a Siempre, a great venue. We're trying to build more relationships there." And I was like, "Her budget's really good. I feel like I want this gig." And Emily's like, "We already have too much stuff." So
I said absolutely not.
so she she got my
Bam.
phone, typed out the text, and said, "Oh, because this was the comment." She said, "Oh wow, you guys are really steep."
And Luke had already given her a discount.
Why would
They
you
said
text
that to you.
I know. I
I
was
know,
like,
and
whoa,
so I was already
don't
kinda
tell
put
me
on.
your
Yeah.
first.
But
Yeah,
then she said she grabbed my phone text and she said, "We are
Perfectly priced.
perfectly priced for the experience we have and the products that we
Wow.
deliver."
The
And then,
value.
And
like
then I
an
said,
hour later, she just booked it.
really,
Yeah.
really.
And I was like,
well, and
You're
I
right.
told her
Confidence.
that's exactly what would happen. I said she's gonna text you back in probably like a week and say she wants to go with us because she's gonna price shop and she's gonna see what else she can get for that price. Like if
Yeah.
you want the gig.
yeah,
and see
You
that the
gave her a
hill
good
gets
price.
much steeper.
yeah.
And then
You guys are
I thought
very
it would
well
take a
priced.
week,
She
but
also
the
know-
same day she's
wow.
like, I would love to book with you. And I was like, that's what I thought. But we have her wedding coming up, so now I'm like worried things
Oh,
will.
no.
Wisdom over here.
I know.
But just experience, I guess. Like it's made me less emotional about all of it. I
Mhm.
feel very much like,
Yeah.
this is my
Like,
business.
she really
and
is
my
just a
time.
booking pro. Like I used to do it, and now she does it, and that's why I get like more nervous if someone has my contact and reaches
Yeah.
out to me.
Oh, he gets anxious, like
And then
so
she
anxious
just
to be
Give
in
it to her.
charge.
Okay,
Yeah.
tell us about it.
And like I love booking calls. I think it's so much fun, and I really feel confident if I'm able to get on a call with them,
Mhm.
I will get the gig.
Yeah.
Not to sound cocky, but I just feel like having the ability to bring in emotion to the decision
Mhm.
is kind of nice. Like having a
Yeah,
relationship.
tell us what that call.
Yeah.
I wanna
Do
hear
people
everything.
know your prices before the call?
Yes,
Okay.
I will not hop on a call unless unless I'm like a viable option.
Mhm.
Is
Mhm.
that the right word?
Yeah.
Like unless it's actually going to happen. potential.
Like you send the HoneyBook pricing guide.
Yeah.
So, like,
they
as
select
soon
what
as
they
email
want, and then
has
they
our
jump.
pricing.
Okay.
As soon as an email or text come in, like respond as soon as possible. And that's like often we can get on a call within a few hours of getting it in, where some people just delay. I think that's a huge
Getting back to
ball
them
that
quick.
people drop
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
not being prompt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So like a personalized text says like, hey, I'm sending you the pricing guide in the email, some other stuff that we can go over on the call and then get on
Yeah.
a call and
Yeah, I say like
she
the
closes
call.
it somehow.
Lots of times I feel like they're going with me just because I'm the first person that got back to them too. Another
Okay.
reason, like some people are anxious to
Just get off their
book.
plate.
Well, I
Check
think
it
Yes.
off
the
their box.
statistic is I
Move
think
on.
Yeah.
something
And
like
they're
90%
impressed.
of people go with the first person who responds.
I
Something
send an
crazy.
email response
Wow.
and a text, so they can choose which option is better for them.
Yeah.
And then I let them know like I'd love to hop on a call with you and help you figure out which package is the best fit. But I just try and make it just about them finding out which package is the best fit.
Well, and just in the email, it says like the purpose of the call is just to see if what we offer is a good fit for you. It's not to sell us. It's to see like we don't really change it too much of what we offer. It's like if what we offer fits you, perfect, and they can kind of go
I
through
like
the
that approach.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
package.
keeps it really low pressure for them. Like they don't need to be making decisions. They're just gathering information, which feels good when you're planning something so lofty
Yeah.
to like just have information.
I think
Okay.
a good tip, like if you're newer and you get like, what do I text? You know, say someone an inquiry comes in from HoneyBook or your CRM, and you want to text them. Like, what do you say? Like in our questionnaire, they fill out a little bit about their wedding, and then you can talk about like how excited you are about that venue or these colors, or
How
so
they
it shows
met.
like it's a personalized thing that you are excited about their day. I'm super interested in it. I would love to be part of that.
Yeah. You relate
And-
to something.
And
Yeah,
you
it doesn't just
already
seem like an
know-
automated response.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
Available. Boom.
I
Of course.
already know I'm in their budget when I'm on the phone with them, which does feel good.
Right. Yeah, because they wouldn't have
'Cause-
got that far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I just like to wrap it up. I'm like, I'll build a proposal for you, and for reference, I'll have my contract in there ready to sign and like a payment plan. If you choose to move forward with us, it's all there to make it official. And just
Yeah.
keep me in the loop. And I always end it with like, we'd love to be the ones if we're the right fit.
Love it.
And usually within a few days, we're our client.
That's what we tell people. We get a lot of questions with consultation calls, and I love the consultation calls. I'm kind of like you. I
Yeah.
feel like if I can connect with you on a human level,
Yeah.
odds are I'll book you with you at the end of the call.
Yeah.
Because
you know you do a good job.
And all I
You're
do
not-
is listen.
Yeah.
I just sit there and listen, and I just ask questions. And I learned that if you can just get them to sell themselves on you, that's it.
Yeah.
No,
So
they
I just
start
ask
talking
you.
about why it's so important to
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Like, why it's documented this way.
Who's gonna be at your wedding? Oh, your grandpa. Oh my gosh, do you see your grandpa often? No. Are you gonna do a first look with him? Yeah, I actually am. Like, I want that captured. Yeah, I definitely want that in the video. Okay.
They connect the dots.
Yeah, so I just like
Yeah.
ask them like what like details are important. Are you a dance party or is your fiance emotional? Like, and so I explain like what do you envision for like your film? Like, how do you want that to look? Oh, I want this to be included in this. I'm like, we can do all that for you.
Yeah.
The last like 2 minutes of the call, it's like, so what's your questions do you have for us? And like, oh, like
That was it.
I don't know.
How do
And
I?
so
How do I?
they-
Where do I?
yeah,
sign?
well,
Yeah.
Because they've already
what
seen your
was it
work
required to
and-
book you? And it's like, oh, half up front, contract signed, and then
Yep.
we turn out other clients. We lock you into our calendar. It's like, wow, okay. And I'm like, yeah, I can send you a proposal right now if you'd like, just for you and your fiance to look over. And like, that'd be great. Send it to them. So now it's in their inbox, invoice, contract,
And they've
then
had
most of the time they
positive
just
interaction. And
by the weekend they pay it. You know,
Yeah.
'cause there's-
The more we talk,
That's
I think the
awesome.
more walls they go
Yeah.
up because they're like,
Yeah.
what are they trying to like?
Exactly.
What salesy things are
Yeah.
they trying to do for me? But
yes, we
yeah,
had
the
this,
call's
yeah.
like zero sales in the end. It's
Yeah.
just like
Listening.
reassuring.
Letting them
that,
talk about their
like,
day.
Yeah, all the work you've seen. Yeah, that we did that.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, we had
there's
this-
not
we had
much
this
we
one
can
guy
say.
A couple years
Yeah.
ago, he talked and talked and talked and talked and talked, and he's like, I feel like I'm telling them my process, how I film, like everything they should know about me. And I was like, what do you learn about them? It's like, well, they're there to learn about me. I'm like, no, they're not.
Calls.
And so I said, your next call, just sit there and listen and ask questions. And he said he booked the next wedding.
Oh, that's
And I was
really
like, I don't know
cool.
if that was like just the right bride, but I believe listening sells.
I think
Either
I think
way,
it's
it's a
just
life
I think it's
lesson.
just like you as the vendor being on the other end of the call, and as you were saying, like they're connecting the dots, and you're a part of the process of them talking and getting excited about their day. So
Yeah.
just having you on the other side, they're already like including you in the day. So I don't know if that's some weird
that's
psychology
true.
thing. So
That's
they hang
true.
up the
I think it is,
phone,
man.
and you're already part of it. It's like, yeah, I just had this positive experience, and they were part of it, so I'm going to book them.
And
it-
we're at the forefront of their planning experience
Exactly.
too. So it's like
Yeah, and you
kind
guys
of-
have the
they are laying
advantage
it out.
of being photo video too, because most times photographers are the first person they reach out to, and then based on the photographer, it's like a videographer.
Yeah.
They reach out to you guys because you're the all-in-one bundle, and so you're
think
placed
they do
very
like that.
nicely.
Also, in the first email back, we include some of our favorite galleries, full galleries and full
Wow.
videos,
Yeah, we say
Oh,
like,
that's cool.
links, and then they can kind of get a feel for a whole variety of what we're capable of, but without just seeing like a 10
and we kind of encourage them just like
post pictures.
encourage,
Yeah.
educate just throughout. It's the first wedding that they're booking to see full galleries from anybody you're considering, full films. And we just say like, these are kind of what to expect, because I don't want you to book me if you're expecting something totally different, or that'll stress me
Yeah.
out and stress you out and you'll be
Yeah.
disappointed. So like, here's a few films, a few
Yeah.
galleries, please look at it. If there's something missing, if your venue's darker, whatever, you want to see specific photos of these instances, because a lot of people, their biggest worry in our questionnaire is, do you have a photo worry? And besides, like, I'm not photogenic, is the lighting is going to be here, or it's going to be dark here. Like, oh, we've encountered that, and this is what it looks like with how we handle it.
Yeah.
And
I like that you guys send those links because I think
Very personal.
yeah, social media right now. It used to be what you see on people's social media is exactly what you're getting, but now it's kind of trendy stuff. Someone can be posting
Yeah.
Jay and Mac sort of content on their Instagram,
Or workshops or stuff.
Yeah, or workshops.
Exactly.
but their actual work is very timeless and slow and
Yeah.
gimbal, and so that's kind of
like,
nice that you
people's
guys
Instagram
include
is
that.
not really a representation of like the product. And
It should be, but it's kind of leaning.
well, I
towards
mean,
it.
like, it's
yeah.
a snippet of it. Like, of
Yeah.
course it's
Yeah.
in there,
Yeah.
but like of the
Nobody's posting
maybe
the family
400, 500,
photos.
800
Right.
images,
But those are
or
really
the
important.
10-minute
Yeah.
film.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's something else that's helped is like I know that they can afford us and I know that they've seen what we have to offer and they liked it enough to hop on this call. So I'm
Yeah.
already going in feeling really confident that we could be a perfect fit.
Yeah,
And that feels good for me. I'm not trying to sell anything because
already 90% of the
we're
way
on the
there.
call. Yeah. That helps.
Yeah,
And-
go for it.
Interestingly enough, since like our inquiry form it's for both, like photography and videography, and it'll clarify, do you want this or this? And we've played around with asking like a budget or not, but for those who are wondering, whenever people do fill it out and there's like, what's your estimated photography budget or videography budget, photography's always higher. I don't know if that changes anything for anybody, but it's just an interesting thing because there's so much more gear, time, work, editing. It's more costly to produce a film than it is to deliver a wedding gallery, but
It's
for
just
the client, that they value that more
it's the
oftentimes.
Yeah.
I think it's the demand that
Yeah.
makes that more of a higher price point
Mm-hmm.
right now in 2025 at least.
Oh yeah.
But we've learned we can't come in at the same as a photographer if it's like a gig we really, really want, and the photographer is
come in lower.
charging 15, and what we charge for that type of a wedding, let's say it's like 15 or 16, we can't. We has to be at least 12, 12 or 13, like max. It's just like we have to be a little bit under.
The little.
I
That's
mean,
so
sometimes you have
interesting.
those rare clients who like they value video more, and they say as much, but yeah, I think in this industry you have to come in lower, just
So
because I don't know, you're still kind of like a luxury.
where like if you were to get married, again,
I'd
we
splurge
talk
on the
about this.
video.
I would literally, if I could only choose one, I would just do a video. So
I was
it's
gonna ask
interesting.
that.
Like
Film
that's
the
my
wedding.
take. Not to be salesy, but
No, like people, I deliver a beautiful gallery. They say, "Oh, thank you so much. You did a great job." People Emily delivers a film, paragraph,
Can you
tears,
tweet-
video,
tweet-
like like it's just it hits so different,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I wish more people understood
You're
that.
just sitting there in the
but-
corner.
Well,
I'm like
slaving
they
away
love
on
their
gallery.
stuff too. Yeah, but I get a lot of like really
But they post the
Emotional
photos forever. Yeah.
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 They're just such different products. But I'm surprised more people in our industry like aren't more hybrid. Like I've met very few that kind of are able to do what we do.
Would you guys do like a photo package? Would you ever consider that?
I think I just always would default to photographers. We talk about it a lot. Is I'd rather just help build a friend's business and say we'll give you a
Like,
deal if
we'll
you book
send-
us with them.
Mhm.
But
Okay, okay.
we wouldn't white label it.
Okay. I was curious if you'd ever like.
and we're
do
not
a-
photographers either. I think I don't know.
We both
Well,
just
I wouldn't
really
consider
enjoy
myself
both.
a photographer as much anymore, though. I don't enjoy it as much.
You guys are great photographers.
You guys have
I
the
think
eye.
you're good, babe.
I think
Yeah.
the reason it's not more common is because I think it nowadays it demands this dynamic. I think it needs to be a married couple who have great communication skills. I think if
Maybe.
it's just like I don't know, I think the most popular photo video teams are people who like, wow, you guys live together. Like you guys can work without talking. Like
Yeah,
your
that's
dynamic is perfect. You complement each other well.
They
Like what
just-
you were saying, yeah.
No, sorry, that was they
Yeah.
know their galleries are being
Yeah.
worked on like simultaneously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
that's-
just like in two different places.
Yeah.
That's true. I was
Nate
just
did
curious.
photo once. He shot Landon's
Really?
Yeah, I
wedding.
did. I shot
Wow.
Landon,
Oh,
by the
really?
way's bridals.
Wow.
Yeah, yep. All the horizons
Everyone's
are
so
off-centered.
intimidated about. I'd be more intimidated of stills going to video than the other way around. Because
Yeah. See, I take like family photos, and then I just hate my life after. I hate editing
Yeah.
family photos. I'm
Family
just
photos.
like in my mind, I'm like, I have to edit these frame by frame. Like, kill me. That's how I view it. I'm like, I took like 800 photos.
I don't
I've
know.
never
How
edited
long-
a photo gallery in our whole time doing this. Luke edits
Oh, wow.
everything.
It's just a lot of
He's got-
pressure being a photographer on the day of the wedding too. Like you're dealing with everybody.
This is like
You're running the
Yeah.
day.
one of the benefits of when we work together is because more client facing the photographer typically is, more seen on the day.
Oh yeah.
And we're able to shine a little bit more. Like moms will love you if you do really organized, good group photos. And like Emily's not as seen so much. And that's why sometimes when we work together, we get more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you guys did such a great job. I've been to so-and-so wedding and you guys did whatever thing.
It's definitely the most lasting impression of
Yes.
those crucial
Because
moments.
when I'm like
Oh,
the
yeah.
videographer with Mickey Platt, that's who I shoot with most often.
Love
She's
Mickey.
the photographer. She's
Mickey's
amazing,
great.
right?
Love
I love
Mickey.
her, and she shines. People love Mickey.
Mickey's
You know, and
cool.
I'm like kind of used to some praise when I'm working with Luke. Like I get like
Yeah.
compliments, and people love us together. But when I'm with Mickey, I'm just like kind of this videographer that's there, and people always love the product. But it's harder to shine as the videographer. I feel like because
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, and so I
100%.
think that helps our business with with getting more referrals is because like such a more of a front seat when it's a duo.
Yeah,
Not
so if
to
you are
make it
just
about
a video
us,
person,
but
No, yeah,
like, team up
I
with
think
the
it affects-
photographer.
Team
Yeah.
up with
I think it
photographer.
can go far. Yeah.
No,
Yep.
we are the biggest photo advocators.
Jealous.
Like
yeah.
Courtney is like
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
reason I think we are here today. Like she started off Jake Weisler Films with like so many clients, and then Runaway Vow, she's been our biggest supporter, and like we preach everyone like become friends with photographers. They just will make your life so much easier.
Yeah.
There are some bad ones, but like name me a single
The good
vendor where
ones.
there aren't bad
Mhm.
Yeah.
ones too. You know?
Yeah.
Seriously.
I feel like we work with mostly really great photographers.
Yeah.
I
No, I,
do-
I
I
don't
do
get to work
miss
with very
Luke.
many, unfortunately, but
Sometimes
That's
I miss
true.
Luke when I'm not working with him. I'm with somebody else. But
It's true. Do you do
Work with
any
good
like
people.
AI automations for your editing, or are you just
there's a lot of. Yeah, I don't want to like totally out myself, but I can edit a gallery if I'm zoned in and my kid's not around. Probably start to finish in like 3 to 6 hours,
Wow.
depending.
Yeah.
Because
Just one whole work
like
day.
my AI has been trained with like 40,000 of my photos, and
Wow.
it auto straightens, gets lighting, like pretty good. And that's why I used to have an editor, but I started using this more because I'd still have to touch almost every
single thing.
photo at least once. So that'd slow me just
yeah?
as much down as sending their thing and getting it back and whatever. And with the new MacBook Pro I have, it just can do all
Instant.
that in like 5 minutes. It's crazy.
Wow.
And then I can just go through, tweak, edit my things, and do crops and blacks and whites, and it's pretty quick. And
What is the
Wow.
AI for photo? I don't use Photoshop. Is it Photoshop or are there apps for?
well, so like most people use Photoshop for heavy manipulation of one image, Lightroom for like color
Just kinda
correction,
yeah, yeah.
exposure for tons. So most photographers live in Lightroom, and then you can. There's different softwares like Aftershoot I use that you can train that AI model with your edits and your presets and your galleries. You can just click them in and it'll analyze them, and
Wow,
then
that's really cool.
like you just upload my photos to Lightroom. I close out of Lightroom, open up Aftershoot. It's connected somehow. And then I just click edit. 5 minutes later, it's fully done. I just open it up. It's in my Lightroom and I can do my final
Just do tweak
adjustments.
things?
And yeah. So it's edited.
So efficient.
Well, that's how I've been able to just kind of keep up with the amount that we were doing is
Yeah.
that I can totally zone in, and I don't think I'm skimping on the edits. Like if I'm 5 hours of deep focus work, I know I can get one done.
Wow.
we've been talking a lot this past year though. The amount of
But props to everybody who, if you take way longer, I know some people that will take a whole week, and that is totally great.
Yeah.
So
we've noticed as we've gotten just more experience, the amount of good footage I have from a wedding day is overwhelming. Like so much good stuff, and editing is taking me almost longer, and my
'Cause you have
videos
more
are
good
longer. I have
footage
so
to go
much
through,
good
yeah.
footage, and his
average
his
videos are getting
galleries-
longer. My average galleries went from 300 to now they're like 900 on
It
average.
was- it's like it's
Jeez.
hard to narrow, and our shoots are shorter too. Like we need less time.
You're more precise.
Well, just
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
after
you
that
guys know.
5 minute thing, I was like, I'll do a bridal session, totally done, like, and bonus round after 30, 40 minutes, unless we're traveling to different locations. Because you did that whole video of us in 5 minutes, right? So,
Yeah.
like, if
you
you
can
get
a
really
lot of
good, but then like
stuff.
I
How
want
about
them to have
that?
a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
experience. So, I'm like,
I don't know. That's
It's like
been,
you
kinda
draw,
shooting
you
slower,
draw it
but-
out, you know,
Yeah.
and just get more.
that's
Because
been our interesting take is that we've learned that too, is that we can walk in and get our heroes pretty quickly and
Right.
know that we have enough. And
Yeah.
then sometimes you're kind of like, I don't really know if I want to be creative for 45 minutes and just wing it.
yeah,
But you can just do sometimes, you know.
yeah, it's nice. It's nice not
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
stressed on time
Yeah.
or like the footage.
Yeah, I mean it's nice to play too. We were in Phoenix for a beautiful wedding last year, and there was like 3 hours of bridals built into the schedule.
Yeah,
Like
that's
there's like a
wild.
long
Yeah,
after. There's a
wild
long
amount
time
of
after the
time.
first
Because you know
look,
you won't
and
use
then
it
there was
all.
like an hour after the bridal portraits, and then there's an hour at sunset. And at first I was like, this is a lot of time, but then I was also like trying to put myself in the bride's shoes. I'm like, well, she made this timeline, so what's important to her, right?
true.
Yeah,
And so I said, let's just play. And we just played and we just tried so many things I would never try with other couples. I'm like, we have so much
it's so
time.
fun.
It's
yeah,
a lot
she gave
of
it to you
reading.
guys.
Yeah, it was
It's a
Yeah.
lot reading
Yeah.
the room because
Yeah.
some couples like don't have tons of energy
Yeah.
for it. Like they know they need to get them, but they want to just enjoy the people. And some people really
Yeah.
want that time to
Yes.
create.
Yeah,
And that's important to know before, because a lot of the times they're done before the photographer, the videographer were done. Like, oh, can we get one more shot?
I
Whatever.
hate that.
yeah,
I will never be that guy.
yeah.
Because our goal should be obviously to deliver a good product, but that they enjoy their day the best they can. And as soon as we start detracting from the day, we failed our job.
My bride's done, we're done. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, to contrast that, we're in Seattle with Mackenzie, and the planner said, "Can you have 6 minutes for sunset photos?"
Yeah,
And we're like, and all of us, the whole
got it.
team, we're just like,
Okay.
great.
yeah.
Easy.
It's a minute longer than I need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know. It's so
Easy.
nice though to get to that
Yeah.
point because I remember that
But-
feeling like it would make or break my video. Where
Yeah.
now I'm like, oh, that's perfect.
You kinda
That's
gotta
just all I
practice.
need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
But I'm also
Let's
like,
get the heroes.
from a storytelling perspective, I'm like, no, I have so much content from today.
Yeah.
Any portraits we get are just like icing on the
Bonus,
cake.
yeah.
I got so much first looks and ceremonies and
Yeah.
speeches and all these like beautiful moments that like you in slow motion with your like in like your tux. I'm like, it's gonna be like a couple shots.
It'll be
I don't-
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then usually those shots only do take up such a small portion of
Yeah.
the video. Or used
So,
to
yeah,
be
5
all it
minutes all we
was.
need.
5
Yeah.
minutes.
Or
Yeah.
none. I've had weddings where it
Yeah,
none.
like,
I
oh.
was like,
And,
great.
just, and
Oh, we
edit
forgot to
turns
put
out
in
totally
bridal.
fine.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh,
We
I
shot this,
guess I don't need those from now on.
I shot my buddy's wedding.
Seriously.
It was a temple wedding. And they had done a first look a week before with their photographer. I wasn't invited. And so I showed up on the wedding day and they were like burnt out. Like we already did
Kinda not
photos at the temple a
planning
week ago. And so it was like flash photography
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and they just didn't want me there. And so then on the wedding day, after the family photos, like, we don't really want to do bridals. And they're like, we'll do one shot. And I was like, okay, just run. Just like,
Yeah.
it was
Start
a
running.
temple. I was like, just run down this freaking strip
Yeah,
of
that
grass.
strip.
That's the only shot I got. But they had speeches, and it was just like the film turned out gorgeous because it was all about them and their story,
Yeah, going back
their
to the
first
story.
dance.
And from your
you know.
perspective, you had one chance to direct
Yeah.
something for the
Yeah.
day.
Oh,
And
I
you
killed
crushed
that
it.
shot.
Yeah, you killed that shot.
yeah, I killed that shot.
Perfectly
And I just
composed.
didn't. And then the edit came back, and I was just like, I don't need it. I don't need bridals.
It's kind of
I also
empowering when you
learned-
realize
Yeah.
that.
We learned this. Only Utah calls it bridals.
Yeah, bridals
They
isn't
say
really a,
formals? Do they say
Portraits.
Portraits.
And every time I say
and
bridals,
usually
like,
the
what's
groom's
bridals?
not
Yeah.
there if there's like a different.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've learned
Okay.
bridals specifically
We
is
invented
for those
bridals.
brides who do bridals pre-wedding
Yeah,
without the groom.
but it's like
It's just her,
really
like,
not a thing.
oh.
It's a Utah culture thing.
Why
Yeah.
did we do that?
How are you guys? Are you guys an LLC, an S corp?
Yeah,
a-
I
LLC.
think. Yeah,
LLC.
yeah.
LLC partnership.
Sweet.
Because that was something that we've been able to, we have changed to an S corp because our accountant suggested
Yeah.
so, and we ran both the scenarios, and it ended up being very favorable for that. I think
We should.
being just very, so kind of going back to what we originally started talking about, being intentional with how your business is set up, being like the best businessman over. The person who thrives is the best businessman, not the best artist, unfortunately. But there's so many hats we have to wear. But taking the time to like, how is my business structured? Do I have insurance? Do I have all
Yeah.
these things? Like, are you using your home office deduction? There's a few things I feel
Crucial.
like since you own your house, I would tell you that I think you could.
Yep, I do. Yeah.
You could rent out your house to yourself.
Oh, interesting.
You heard the Augusta rule?
Uh-uh.
It's called the Augusta rule because of like the golf course in Augusta, but basically they had people coming in for the tournament and they could rent out their house 14 days a year. So business owners can rent out their property for up to 14 days a year at like market value and you can pay your business, but that income is tax free and it's a deduction for you. So you would say like you want to host podcasting in your house or a workshop seminar, you can do that at the Weisler home. The business rents it out from you and then you could deduct that as an expense, but that's income that's free for you. And you just kind of see comparables, whether it's
How
like
about the dozens of tutorials I film in my office?
well, yeah, that's
I
why I was
think you
like, there's
could.
so many little
like you
things
could
that people
rent it.
don't
So I should
know.
be taking Runaway Val's money and paying Jake for renting the home.
We'll
I
say
think
like,
you can
you
structure
know,
it that
studio.
way. Yeah, I
if
think
you
you
were
can.
gonna
Interesting.
host that space and it's $500 a day, but you used it 14 times 500, that deduction.
Interesting.
So there's a bunch of stuff that I've tried to learn about that would help. Like
Our son's a model. He's a paid model, and we can use that as
you
a
can pay your
deduction.
kids
True, huh?
$12,000 a year before it's taxable income for them. So he gets free income and it's a business expense for us. And he actually does the work. Like he's been in lots of modeling things. And once he's older, he'll manage some
Does he have
paperwork
like
for
an
me.
account for saving up for college or okay?
So
another
that's something
way
you
you
could
can do
do.
it.
It's
I'd look
awesome.
into or talk to your accountant about it.
Absolutely.
There's a
Luke
lot
loves
of
this kind
people
of
in our
Yeah, my
space
Jake
are
Weisler
parents.
Films is an S corp, but then I think ours is just currently an
It's an
LLC.
LLC partnership. For people, I mean, this is kind of like unknown territory for a lot of creatives. A lot of them get intimidated by this like business talk. Where would you suggest that they go to just start? Let's say they have zero knowledge about, real estate, structuring business. Like what's a good spot to start?
Well, I would just say, like with ChatGPT, like with AI right now, I would just say, this is my scenario. This is what I work. This is how much I make. This is how I'm paid. What do you know that I could do? And like I did this practice just today, and everything that we're doing, it's like I paid someone $10,000 for this knowledge, and it just kicked it out. So I'd start there and
like, oh,
just
great.
talk to other people. Like odds are, if someone's been in the business for a long time, they have finally figured it out. They figured out health insurance, and they figured out business insurance
Yeah.
and taxes and whatever. I'd start there because it can be super, super intimidating, and just start with like one or two things. But a lot of people, when they start opening their mouth about it, and I hear, are doing things that are semi-illegal or things that you just totally, and they're not taking advantage of a lot of things that could be saving them a ton of money. And a lot of people in the space will put apart 30% of all their money for taxes, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of ways you can bring it.
Talking about
Bring
Sam.
it down. Sam Hansen.
You're a responsible guy.
There's one guy I'm thinking of.
No, I was actually asking ChatGPT the other day about like home equity because I bought my home right before COVID, and
Perfect.
I was just like, it'd
timing.
be kind of cool. It has a lot of equity to use it for other investments, and so I just asked ChatGPT about. I plugged in all the variables, and it started teaching me about home equity line of credits and all these
So
things that like I
awesome.
feel like would have been a college course, but it spat it out
You
to me
wish.
in like
Yeah.
a 5 minute.
If only they did.
And I said
yeah.
to teach me in detail, like I'm a child learning for the first time, and it gave me like probably like a 3-minute monologue about it. Gave me math formulas about how to calculate
That's awesome.
if something's worth it, and like, and it outlined like 5 different options and said, here are the exact scenarios I'd use for each of these options in your situation. And I was like, this is fascinating.
That's
I was like, this feels like a college course that I just got for free.
yeah,
Yeah,
AI.
If only
Yeah.
they taught in college.
And like if you're
ChatGPT.
self-employed, you're not getting like a 401k
Right.
match. It's like, what do you do for retirement? What do you guys do? You guys have like a Roth IRA or a SEP IRA?
I have a
or
Roth and a
something?
SEP.
Roth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to ask that too, because for creatives, like kind of the long-term option is kind of limited,
yeah.
It's like, what do you do? So I heard this from another buddy. Do you guys know Ben Duro?
No,
He's in
I don't.
Provo, really talented guy. He's video. He kind of just does everything as well.
Cool.
But he is investing in real estate. And I think he just, it's from like the Bigger Pockets podcast. I think they say like make your money elsewhere, but hide it in real estate. And so I think that's kind of like one of the long-term options for creatives is like, oh, I'm just doing this now because I need to buy real estate for the long term because there's not, retirement's not
Yeah,
there for us.
What else is there?
Yeah. So what would be kind of like the first steps for someone to get in real estate?
Well, one thing it's harder for people who are self-employed to qualify for a mortgage per se, just because you're higher risk, so banks
Yeah.
don't like you
Yeah.
as much. When we just bought our most recent house, we used a bank statement loan, which doesn't need 2 years of business. Because if you're doing a normal mortgage, say we write off a ton of stuff and we only show we made
Yeah.
$60,000.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that, but then you can't qualify for anything. So what you can do with a bank statement loan, which we did, it just shows how much money came in over a 12-month period. And you use, I think, half of that to qualify for what you can use for a mortgage. Because for a traditional mortgage, we could qualify for maybe $500,000, which in Utah doesn't buy you anything other than a townhouse. But with a bank statement loan, we got qualified for like 1.6 million,
Wow.
like triple. You pay like typically a 1% higher interest rate, but if that's a good
And
option,
You put more down too.
yeah, you have to put more money down. But a lot of, if you're well in your business and you're charging thousands of dollars a gig, maybe you could,
Yeah.
You can
you know,
save
take on a
cash.
few more and save up a down payment. But
I think that is the fear for a lot of like creatives. Like, I don't have 2 years of good income. So like a
Yeah.
bank
like,
statement
I
loan
just
is a,
1 year crushed it, but just started.
so
Yeah,
start with
Yeah.
maybe a bank
But you
statement
have like
loan.
lots of cash.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Like there are so many ways to do it. Someone can message me about it, but that we took our investments elsewhere into other parts of the country where you can buy a house for $50,000.
Don't you guys have like a place in Arkansas or something?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
kind of random, but it's been good. There's quite a few over there.
Yeah, not saying like real estate is the be all end all. Like a lot of our stuff is just in an index fund in our
Yeah.
retirement accounts, and I
Yeah.
think everybody, if you can, should fund your Roth or something. But
Absolutely.
your HSA, health insurance for creatives are kind of crappy.
Yeah.
So
really is.
crappy.
We paid $16,000 after insurance for
Our
Micah's
first-
birth.
Yeah.
Oh my
Was it crazy for
gosh.
you guys? Oh, well, we had emergency C-section, so
Yeah.
No, my wife had a job. She worked
Oh,
at
with-
Make-A-Wish, and then she left it right after maternity leave. But then we just joined a new healthcare plan that's amazing, much more affordable.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I'll have
can
to have
We'll
you
be
tell me about
messaging
that.
you
Yeah.
about that.
You're just like, what is
No, it's
that?
been a lifesaver.
Ours is
But
like
I always
1100.
think about people too. It's like people. I think going back to our early conversations about like finding fulfillment. For me, everything we take should be leading towards a bigger goal of like where we want to be in 5 years, 10 years. And it was a very simple question. Like Nate and I both don't want to be filming weddings when we're 40. Period. Like we just don't envision doing that. Maybe even 45, 50, whatever it is. Like I just don't see myself leaving home at that age to go
Same.
film a wedding. I definitely see myself maybe being an owner of a thriving production company where our team goes out and films those weddings. But I don't want to be personally doing that. But I don't think a lot of creatives have even had that conversation with themselves. Like honestly sat down and said, do you want to be,
Where does this lead to?
yeah, do you want to
Yeah.
be taking Venmos? You know, like that, how your business is structured right now, you're being Venmoed, no contracts. Do you want to be doing that until you're 40? Like what's the long-term, do you have an exit plan? What are you trying to do here? And I think just like sitting down and answering that question, which funny enough is like what led me to quit my last job at FTF was like I sat down and asked like myself, where do I see myself at this age? And then I think my coach said like, describe your day from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. What does it look like? What car are you driving? What house are you living in? Where are you living? How many kids do you have? What are you making? How much time do you spend working? How much time do you spend with your family? And just literally writing that down, I was like, oh, this isn't leading to that. And so
I
just
think
wanna
it's
change.
probably more
Eye-opening.
healthy to work it backwards like that.
It
It's like,
so
what do you
is,
love to
man.
do?
Yeah.
Well, this is the life you're going to live if you are
Yeah.
a XYZ. But like, if I want freedom of time, what jobs are available to
Yeah.
me? Does this path let me do that? And do I want to be able to travel around, work remote? There's so many different things that people I don't think consider. And a lot of people start doing this creative work, at least in Utah anyway, because they love taking pictures,
Yeah.
It's eye candy.
There's
And-
so many. Yeah.
love
yeah.
taking videos, and there's so much more to it. And that's kind of like maturing in the business, is seeing like that is very much the tip of the iceberg.
Which I think people don't like either. I think once they find out it's the tip of the iceberg, they don't want to dive any deeper. Like I just like taking photos. And it's like, well, then if this is the long-term plan, you should go work as a camera operator for some thriving
Have
production
some
company.
benefits, at least.
Like this
Yeah.
business, you got to be a business owner who has a skill in photography. You can't be a photographer who doesn't know business. It needs to be the first. You got to be an entrepreneur to just to succeed. So So look at yourself that way with a skill in photography and less of the vice versa.
Okay, well, most people who have like studied in the financial independence, retire early space, like the FIRE movement, it's all based off of the 4% rule, which is basically like how much money do you need to have amassed, invested that you will never have to work another hour in your life. And they've done rigorous studies and come up with this 4%. Basically, you take what you expect, like what you want to be spending. Say it's $100,000 a year, times
Spending.
that by 25, and you'd get 2.5 million. As soon as you have that number amassed, invested, you will be able to draw down 4% of your portfolio every single year and never run out of money over any time frame that they've had it since like hundreds of years ago, 100 years ago.
Interesting.
So that's why for us, like if we can be totally happy spending $100,000 a year, that's like way more than we need.
Yeah, you can comfortably live off that.
I think if we worked the next few years or decade or 15 years, we could save up and invest $2.5 million. And that is financial freedom. Like you don't have to work and you're getting paid. And like the math kind of goes like, if your investments are growing at 7% and you're only taking out 4, you'll never run out of money. And in most scenarios, people would do a 30-year retirement and end with more money than they started and never work again. Like, because I don't want people, like if you love your job, that is so great. But a lot of people don't. I think more people in our industry tend to really enjoy their job. But
80%. We just read the study. 80% people in America don't enjoy their job.
yeah, that's so
so
heartbreaking. So
That's really sad.
like having to get to that number, say like if it was only 50,000, it's even half of that if what you can live off of. But 2.4 million, 2.5, whatever, $2 million is way more of a lower ceiling goal that's achievable. It's not like if you ask a lot of people, how much money do you need? Do you feel like you wouldn't worry about it? Or you could retire and live the life you want? 10 million.
Yeah, it's
8 million,
some
like,
crazy number. Yeah,
That's so crazy. And
it's
you're
intimidating.
burning your life energy in trying to acquire more money because you're giving time and your health and part of your life to get this dollar thing. So as soon as you get to that level, like just live your life.
And
I would say,
yeah,
but-
like 10 million is just like, it's a number that scares a lot of people. Like, I need to make 10 million. Like, 2.5 is a huge number, but it feels like
We can do
attainable.
that.
Yeah, like over the next 10, 15, 20 years, I think I could.
Especially in the
Oh,
right
yeah.
place.
Yeah.
That 2.5 is in the
Yeah.
right place and it's
Yeah.
growing, not just sitting there. And you're not spending on like a house and cars and
Yeah.
things that will make it go
Yeah,
quick.
this is just like it for investments. The
Yeah.
2.5 for investment.
Yeah.
Investments.
No, that's awesome. That's interesting. I want to.
But like, you save up $500,000 over the course of 10, 15 years, and then you're still working, but that's also growing for you. Then that's like, it's just accelerating so much. It's like most people's like net worth or financial journey goes like this,
Right.
more parabolic. And that's why Emily was saying like $5,000 today is worth to me $15,000 when I have a teenager,
Right.
you know, if I put it in the right place. So
That's awesome.
Kind of.
I think
You're
people
smart
Roll
people.
are your DMs open. Can people DM you guys?
people do all the time. And yes,
Luke loves talking about this kind of stuff.
No, I remember driving to the Salt Flats, I think last year. I don't remember what it was for. I think it was maybe, was it our workshop? I don't
think
know.
so. It's September.
What was that? What
Oh
was
yeah,
that
it would have
for?
been your workshop at the Salt
When
Flats.
Sam
And
got
I'll-
stuck out there in Birdhouse
And I don't
car.
remember who was in the car, but it
Me,
was like,
you live maybe.
yeah, it was Liv. Yeah, for like an hour and a
yeah,
half.
Liv.
You were talking about I don't remember if it was the 4% rule, but it was all just like your investments, real estate, what you guys were doing.
I just want people. I'm trying to pitch the idea of
Yeah.
freedom, that it's attainable, and like you don't need to make gajillions of dollars to do it. If you just make a decent amount of money and you spend according to your values and invest the rest, like you'll get there sooner than you think.
Yeah.
And like we've been able to save up and invest like $1 million in 5-6 years. But we lived really simply. All the houses we lived in, we put in a basement apartment. We Airbnb'd every single room. So like there's things you can do to speed it up. But if you're not willing to do that, you just lengthen out the period. But it's having that goal, and that goal is what makes me want to say, yeah, I want to go work for that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of really the why. Like people are like, why are you guys taking on like 80
you know
weddings
what
a
your
year?
goal
Like
is.
that
Yeah.
goal is feeling closer and closer, and I know exactly what I want to do with my life and why it's there, and I know what the number is. So
Yeah, why would you want to work if you had nothing to work towards? Like,
Yeah.
why would you even care?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's probably why 80% of Americans hate their jobs, is because they really have nothing they're going towards. Just trying to hit the retirement age and
And
Be
times
done.
are harder than ever, and that's why like I want the information to be out there and
Yeah.
to help out, because been really fortunate, and kind of a lot of things we've put energy into have worked out, and I know a lot of people don't feel that way. It's kind of a harder time.
Yeah.
The overall sentiment is like low.
yeah.
But
Love it.
Could be changing.
Could be changing.
yeah,
Well, guys, we've loved having you on the podcast. I think it's a topic that a lot of creatives like need. They just need to know. I think thinking just 20 years down the road, even just that, or maybe even 5-10 years down the road, is something that you guys are really good at. And as you were saying, like a lot of people just get into this just because it's a creative outlet, it's a hobby, and it turns into a job, and they don't know how to turn it into a business, turn it into a lifestyle, retirement. So I think that is really important. You guys can ask Emily and Luke questions. Their DMs are open.
and it's just Emily and Luke is our Instagram, so pretty easy to find us.
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. And I like to ask this question. So in a year, when we meet up again, what are we going to be celebrating? What are you guys looking forward to in a year?
2026.
2026.
Oh, wow.
Having two crazy taller boys and have
Yeah.
gone through another season.
Yeah, we're hoping to do something like a couple months abroad with our 2 kids this coming year. We're taking on less.
Couple weeks abroad. Okay.
Couple months, we're thinking.
Months.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
Take the winter somewhere else.
Yeah, that's kind of our goal.
It's a great goal.
It's an
And
awesome
if
goal.
some of our ventures pan out, then we'll take you guys with us, because
Please, I would love that. Okay, well, Emily and Luke, Instagram is Emily and Luke _, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where you can find them on Instagram. And if you guys have any questions, links are going to be below. You can contact us on Instagram or email, but we will wait until next week and we'll catch you then with another episode.
thanks you guys.
Thanks, you
Thank you, guys.
guys.